Hey, Coach, congratulations on the win. I know it was quite nail-biting towards the end. Walk me through a little bit of what your thoughts were in that second half. It seemed like both teams were pressing for the game, but at the same time apprehensive. What was your team's mindset before penalties?
Yeah, I think it was a typical playoff game. We're so used to these one-off games, that I rely on the James Sands, Keaton Parks, Maxi Morales, Thiago Martins, to play the game that is in front of us, and that is defend incredibly well, but have a threat on the other end. And we can play better than that offensively. We can not give up chances, but in playoff football, the margins are so small that you got to live on the edge at moments and be brave, and you've got to try and take your chances on the other end. So, we lived in counter attack a little bit more than we'd want to, but this is a tough place to come and win. Our record here will show that. So, to get to penalties was a positive because it gave us a chance. Of course, I would like to win it in 90 minutes.
Scott?
Hey, Coach, appreciate the time. Scott Church and Stream Punk Soccer. Piggybacking a little and moving forward a little bit on what Anthony had, take us through the penalty kick in this case. Did it remind you much at all of 2021 in some ways, or was this a brand new experience in your own regard? Thanks.
I'll be really honest. When we kept giving up the chance of winning it, it reminded me of 2020 when we went to Orlando and had that crazy situation there, right? It didn't remind me of 21 because we put most of those penalty shootouts away when we got the opportunity. But to have the composure and the calmness to actually put it away when we got the chance, we didn't. Obviously, the first few times, playoff football in MLS is so exciting for the neutral for these moments. So you just got to hope and pray that Lady Luck's on your side and that you can execute in the moment that you get the chance. And Meech's penalty, for his age and experience, was far beyond what he is.
Michael?
Hey, Nick, Mike Ander from Blue City Radio. Happy birthday to you, first of all, but got to ask you about a tough decision you had to make. You didn't end up sticking with Thiago, but second game in a row, Thiago's been hurt, and it's late in the game. That question about having a player that's so important, but also a player who might not be 100%, maybe he's only 75%, and you stick with him and you keep him in the game.
Yeah, you can see I'm going to the bench a lot, using my coaching staff, using my medical staff. In these games, those decisions fall ultimately on a flip of a coin at time. You're getting informed information from the medical guys, and Thiago's obviously making emotional decisions. He doesn't want to come out of the game. And, maybe in the future I flip that guy and take him out, or I take an important guy out. But tonight I trusted my gut. And, as head coach, you just got to back what you feel is the right decision, right? He's an important guy for us, probably one of our best performers all season. So it's difficult to take our captain out in a game where your season's going to end. So I went with it, and I thought he showed real grit and determination.
Trey?
Hey, Coach, can you talk a little bit about Matt Freese and what he's meant to this team? Maybe something we haven't seen off the field. Obviously had the huge performance in the penalties and has been amazing all season.
Yeah, Matt's last season, he came in 2023, right? And had to be patient to get the shirt. And him and Luis have fought it out and continue to. The goalkeeping department is so competitive. Tom Romero, and Alex Randalls. The reason why Matt Freese can compete at the level that he can is because of the chemistry and the cohesion that Rob has with the goalkeepers. Matt is growing into a real leader in the group. He has real presence in the dressing room. But just his desire, I say all the time, all I want in our locker room is guys that are hungry, that believe, and that have ambition. We have those three things, we have a chance, at least a chance. And Matt Freese, every time we missed, he just shows the ambition and the hunger to save another one tonight. And that is just a great example of a guy that is a real high contributor to a team.
Alec?
Hey, Coach. Congratulations on a great result. I just have a quick question. Obviously, as a longtime supporter and newer media member, we all know that Maxi Morales has been both incredibly important in several penalty shootouts and also has struggled in other penalty shootouts. I was wondering whose decision ultimately it was to not include him in the penalty shootout tonight, and if there was any specific reason for that.
Yeah, Maxi's been struggling with a little bit of muscle injury over the last 2 games. That's why he didn't start the first game here. Then he did. And, I pushed him to start tonight. And in those last 10 minutes of the game, you could see that he was having a few problems with the quad and it just wasn't right there. But I needed him to stay and asked him to stay in. And he's New York through and through, right? So he shows the real grit and desire to help the team. He is like a coach on the field. And when I take him out, it's difficult to get the structure and the organization. So I asked him to go through to 90 minutes, but it just wasn't possible for him to take. So we had to put him last faced off. He just had a problem, but now he's over to the medical team to make sure he'll be okay for the Red Bull game.
Oliver?
Hi, thank you. This is Oliver Strand with Hudson River Blue. Happy birthday. This is quite a birthday present, I imagine.
Oliver, we're going to have to cut the press conference short. I apologize.
Okay. I'm sorry. If you could please speak to the performance of Justin Hack. Not only was he in defense again and played well, but his penalty that he took was extraordinary. If you could please talk to his performance.
Yeah, I've said it before. Listen, firstly, I'll say I was 40 this morning. I feel 60 now. But yeah, top guy, got New York in his blood, a real fighter, just relishes the moment, right? And you see the goalkeeper was in his ear, but he just takes the moment. So a real guy I can rely on.